So I wouldn't necessarily categorize myself as a loner. I do hang out with friends like every now and then, but that's like becoming less and less frequent that I go out and hang out with people. It's very rare these days that I'll actually go out and hang out with a close friend of mine because quite frankly speaking, I actually enjoy like my alone time. I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy doing things by myself. Back then, when I was younger, I always wanted to hang out with people like all the time. But as I got older, I leaned more towards having my own time. I would say nowadays, I go out to movies by myself. I go out to restaurants and I eat by myself. I go shopping by myself. I even go traveling by myself now. That's something I never thought I would be doing, especially if you asked me like a couple years back. But I realized being alone and doing things on your own is actually a lot more peaceful and enjoyable, for lack of better words. I'm gonna get to the reasons of why I became so secluded and why I actually enjoy it more than hanging out with others. But before I get to that part, I'm gonna just explain my previous attitude. So back then, if I ever wanted to go out, or if I ever wanted to go traveling, or if I ever want to just do something fun, I didn't want to do it alone. I didn't want people to think that I was weird or that I was a loser or that I was a loner if I went out and did things on my own, like watching films, eating at a restaurant, or going out anywhere where you're supposed to have a friend with you. Like, that was my attitude back then. I always had to be with someone. Like, that was my feeling. Like, I had to validate not being alone whenever I went out and just wanted to have fun. All in all, I just didn't want to do anything alone. I was insecure. I didn't want to be judged by others. I didn't want people to think, oh, look at that loser, look at that guy all by himself, just watching a movie or eating by himself. I didn't want that over my head. I didn't want that image, you know? Like, if I'm being upfront, whenever I did go out somewhere by myself, especially to like somewhere like a restaurant or something, when the waiter comes up to me and asks me, oh, table for how many people? And I would like really timidly say, for one, it would be really embarrassing for me. Like, I even thought that the waiter was judging me. That's how awkward I felt going to places by myself. I couldn't help it. It was just how I felt at the time. And again, I was insecure. I wasn't like confident in myself. As time went on, I didn't know exactly at what point I just started going out to places alone or, just by myself. But I'm glad that I did. And it took me a long time to actually get to the point where I am now, to actually get over this hurdle of feeling embarrassed or awkward, where I'm like, fuck it, just go out and be solo. Like, later on, I realized, hey, it is actually okay to go out and hang out by yourself. Like, it is actually okay to enjoy your own company and to actually enjoy being on your own. Like, it's actually cool. And you can have just as much fun on your own compared to like being with friends all the time. So what changed exactly? Like, what made me change the way I saw things? What made me realize that it's okay to have fun on your own? Reason number one, I got sick and tired of waiting for my friends. They didn't want to go out. They didn't want to do anything that I wanted to do. And it just got really frustrating. Whenever I planned something, if I want to go travel somewhere, if I want to go eat somewhere, if I just want to go do something fun, like, more often than not, my friends just weren't up for the idea. They didn't want to like hang out and just go out and have a good time. After a while, when it became like a repetitive kind of thing where I would be planning things and my friends didn't want to do it, I kind of just got to the point where I got fed up with it. I'm like, fuck it. Let me just go out and have fun on my own. I don't need them. That was like my new change in attitude. I got tired of waiting for like people just to hang out with. I just went out and just started doing things on my own. And you know what? I actually enjoyed myself. And once I started doing that, I realized that I actually have way more fun on my own than if I actually had my friends with me. Like, that's the truth. That's how I felt. I mean, yeah, it was a little weird and awkward at first because I wasn't used to the idea of going out and trying to do activities on my own. But the more I did it, the more comfortable I got with it and the more confident I felt about myself. And I'm actually glad that I started doing it. And I realized that I was actually having way more fun doing things on my own and traveling by myself compared to if I went out with my friends. Like, I realized being around friends and other people was actually way less fun and way less enjoyable for me. So I asked myself, why am I having way more fun doing things by myself compared to if I was hanging out with someone and doing the exact same thing? There's actually a couple factors. The first is obvious. When you do things alone, when you do activities by yourself, you do it on your own time. You're not waiting for people. You're not begging people to come hang out with you. You're just out there on your own time, on your own dime, and you're giving yourself permission to have fun without waiting for other people. If somebody doesn't want to hang out with you, or if somebody doesn't want to do the same activity with you, okay, fuck it. Then just go out and do it on your own. And if I had to take this a step further, like some of my friends, like I'm not trying to like attack them, but I realized that once I started hanging out on my own, like it dawned on me that a lot of my friends they're just not adventurous. They're boring. I didn't realize this part until later, but most of them don't even have like a fun personality. I'm like, why did I hang out with this person for so long? That might sound harsh to you, but that's the honest truth. Like, just once I finally broke out my shell and just started doing what I wanted to do, even if it was like by myself, like I realized that the people that I hung out with, they were just, they just sapped me of my energy. A lot of them just had boring personalities. They didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to go out and just have fun somewhere. They didn't want to go traveling. I've been around a lot of people that they just have no life to them. They have no goals. I want to be surrounded by people that have goals, that have energy, that just have something that they look forward to. If you keep waiting for people, if you keep waiting for your friends to come hang out with you, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life. And that's the honest truth. Give yourself permission. Who cares if you go out and eat by yourself, if you watch a movie by yourself, if you want to go travel to a different country, if you want to try that new restaurant, if you want to watch that new movie, and if you have to do it by yourself, okay, then so be it. You might actually have a lot more fun being on your own. Once you start doing it, it's actually way more enjoyable, and I actually had way more fun being alone compared to if I did the same exact activity with somebody else. So do yourself a favor. Today, whatever you want to do, go out and do it alone. Don't wait for your friends. Don't wait for anybody. Go out and have fun. Be adventurous. I don't care what you want to do. Just go do it. Go live. Go live. Peace out.